Okay. You're confident speaking in the English language, yes?
Yes, I think I can understand, yeah.
Okay. If there's anything you don't understand, please let me know and I'll do my best to explain it to you, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to start off by introducing the panel members. My name is Elizabeth Davey and I am the chairperson of the tribunal today. Okay? So good morning to you and thank you for joining us. You will also see on your screen Mr. Damien Sheridan. He is one of the tribunal members. He'll greet you now.
Good morning, Ms. Tang.
Morning.
Okay, and you'll see on your screen Mr. Mark Byrne. He's another member of the panel this morning.
Good morning, Ms. Tang.
Morning.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And then, I don't know where Miss Tracy appears on your screen, but she's up the top of mine. You've spoken to Miss Tracy, and she's here taking a note for this morning's purposes, and she'll help us with any technical matters that may or may not arise throughout the morning, okay? Okay, so Ms. Tang, this is your appeal from a decision in the first instance by Miss Nora Pat Stewart, which was dated the 13th of February 2025. Ms. Stewart made no award in your case for the reasons set out in her decision, which has been provided to you. You weren't happy with that decision and you indicated a wish to appeal, and you sent in a notice of appeal which was received on the 22nd of February this year. Us receiving that notice of appeal has set this process in motion and has resulted in this hearing being organised for today. Is that okay?
Okay.
These are just some introductory matters so that I lay out how we came to be here today and what the expectations of today's hearing are, okay?
All right.
The appeal, as you're aware, is taking place remotely via the Zoom platform today, Monday the 19th of May 2025, in accordance with Instruction 2, which can be found on the website for the tribunal. I've introduced members of the tribunal and Miss Tracy, and just to say that myself, Mr. Byrne and Mr. Sheridan will be the members who make a decision in your case. So when we've heard everything this morning, us three will have our own meeting, we will discuss everything, and we will provide you with a written decision which will outline our decision and the reasons for it. Ms. Tracy is not part of the decision-making process. We are an independent body and we make our decision in accordance with the scheme. Now, it's important for me to highlight that fact to you, Ms. Tang, because we cannot go outside the provisions of the scheme. We must make our decision in accordance with the terms and conditions of the scheme. And that will become a little bit more relevant to you when I'm finished with the introductory matters, okay? This appeal is what we call a de novo appeal. That means that we hear everything for the first time, freshly from you, having had the benefit of reviewing the appeal papers. We're not bound by the decision that was made in the first instance. We can make a different decision, or we could make the same decision, having considered the matters and discussed them ourselves. So it's a complete fresh hearing, okay? The appeal is private. That means that no electronic recording is permitted. If you wish to take some handwritten notes, you're entitled to do so, but no electronic recording is to be. Okay? It's an informal process, and that means we're not in a courtroom and there is no one opposing you. However, it is for you, Ms. Tang, to establish your case in accordance with the scheme. There is a chance that when the decision is finalised and has been provided to you, that a redacted version of that decision may appear on the tribunal's website. However, any identifying information such as your name, location, any of that type of information would be removed from the decision so that you could not be identified. Ms. Tracy has supplied us and you with a bundle of appeal papers, and it's quite a big file. It contains pages 1 to 193. And we have reviewed them in advance of today's hearing, and we expect that you have also reviewed them at this time. If there is any documentation outside of that bundle of papers that you wish to rely on, please bring it to our attention, because we only have those papers, we have nothing else in relation to your case. And then finally, Ms. Tang, we're limited in what we can do if a decision is made to award compensation. We can only do so for vouched out-of-pocket expenses and for loss of earnings where they've been adequately documented. Okay? Are all of those matters clear? Do you understand what I've just spoken about there?
Yes.
Okay, so Ms. Tan, there is an extensive bundle of papers in your particular case. There is some repetition in it, but we have all, as I said, read it, and we are aware as to the reason why you're making the claim before the tribunal. As I said to you in the introduction, we are bound by the terms and conditions of the scheme. And at the outset, I'm going to draw your attention to the first paragraph of the scheme. And I suppose that might be a good starting point for you in terms of presenting your case to us, okay? So, paragraph 1 of the scheme provides that the tribunal may pay compensation in respect of personal injury where the injury is directly attributable to a crime of violence. Okay? So in order for us to be in a position to consider the rest of the scheme, we must be satisfied that a crime of violence has occurred and that you, as the applicant, suffered a personal injury that was directly attributable to that crime of violence. Do you understand that?
Yes, I understand.
Okay, so you will be aware that the decision that was made in the first instance by Nora Pat Stewart, she found that there was no crime of violence. So that might be a good starting point for you if you wanted to address us in relation to that point.
Yeah, that's because I, as I said, presented in my appeal letter.
Yes.
Which for the CICT, the first stance decision of no award, replied me.
Yes.
I think the decision was based on the report from the GSOC, right? The GSOC report and the Garda-Garbranen's Garda report. And for which both of them, the GSOC covered up the crime facts committed by the Garda and the bunch of guards at the target station. And the Garda report made by the Garda-Garbranen, he denied too many true facts there. And he imposed all the injustices upon me. That's the true situation for me. Yeah. In the first stance, I make it briefly. So how it started. I firstly got inhumanly kicked out and abused by this host lady Margaret located in Ballincollig, who scammed me with her agent hostingpower.ie without paying me back. So she made me homeless just right a day before I was about to reporting to school to start my language course. I was homeless and without any place to stay, and they still refused to pay me back. No compensation, not even my deposits, my booking fees, nothing paid me back. That's why I walked myself back to Margaret Walsh's place to address her to get a door, but maybe she has done some evil to me and she's hiding. She's totally hiding in her house, not getting out the door. No response, no solution given. So I started to call her name to get out and shame on her for what she did to me. And then she called the Gardaí from Ballincollig Guard Station to come to site. And these two guards, one of them named Garda-Garbranen, the one who made the forceful, exaggerated, twisted the truth in his Garda report. He came to site with his colleague, Aidan Barry. These two male guards came up onto me and threatened me to shut down my camera. So, which made me lost the chance to record the evidence with my first confrontation with the guards, just outside of Margaret Walsh's premises. And there, these two guards threatened me to fuck off from there. Yeah, even threatened me to fuck off, go back to my country. And when I tried to explain to him what that lady who's hiding in her house, what she did to me in the first place, and she's kind of, what happened between you and that lady is none of their business. I only know you're at somebody's private house right now. If you don't leave, we're going to arrest you. So by that, later, they just violently handcuffed me and took me directly back to the target station. And on arrival, Garda-Garbranen produced a A4 paper, that offense statement, which is against me on behalf of Margaret Walsh and this Garda-Garbranen himself. And he's starting threatening me again, pressure me to sign on that. I refused because it's not true. So I was wondering, how can you just force me to sign something that is not true? I refused. And then the guard started to threaten me to take me to the court. Say, if you don't sign, we're going to take you to court tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. And I just replied to him because confronted with his intimidating me, threatened me. So I was, replying me back, well, you want to take me to court? Let's go to court then. And then with a bunch of guards inside Target Station, with this guard like Brandon, they just took away all my jackets, my shoes, everything from me, and then threw me into the custody cell right on the left side by the door. And it was like that. And this guard like Brandon randomly just, either say all out of his viciousness, or maybe probably racism against me, because I'm just foreign Chinese, newly arrived here, don't know anybody, with no one's support, no one's help. So I was like that the first whole night, about 20 hours or so, being frozen in the custody cell, without taking any food or drinking any water until the next afternoon. It's nearly 1 p.m. when they finally released me out from the courtesy court. Yeah, that's how exactly happened in the first stance, the first arrest, wrongful arrest of me by Garda Brandon. And the next time happened a few days later. Because of this Garda Brandon's wrongful arrest me, which made me even more angry back then. So I went myself back in the afternoon. It's on the it's the last day of the March. It's the 31st of March. In the afternoon, I went back to the Target Station and confronted with this Garda with badge number CC494. I asked him to give me the names because I don't know the names who the first two guards who arrested me. I want to, file complaints and sue them, but they refused to give me the name in the first instance. And then, I just kind of confronted with him, and and he is kind of baffling was there, and inside the Target Station, just right in front of the reception desk, and he punched me in my chest 3 times there, and tripped me over onto the ground. So then later, he reluctantly wrote me a piece of that, I think I uploaded the piece of card, the Garda helpline card, with the name Aidan Barry, Berlin colleague, badge number CC641. That's he wrote me, but he didn't give me the name of the true name of Garda Brandon, who evilly handcuffed me and arrested me into custody cell. So I left with this card, just like 2 minutes away. I think it's on the Trauma Road, nearby the Target Station. This bunch of guards from Target Station and come upon me, handcuffed me again on the road and took me back took off everything from me and my jackets, shoes, everything, threw me into the grounds of the custody cell again. So I was locked up and got frozen for another whole night and a whole morning until the next day. It's April 1st day, the April Fool's Day, So this is the first 2 wrongful arrests of me and detention, back and forth like 40 hours in the custody cell. And later, after that, I was summoned back and forth to the courtesy court to show up myself, and which later I was informed by this solicitor called Frank Batmer. Well, I was too naive to trust the solicitor. Frank Batmer would help me, as he told me, outside the courtroom. But it turns out he cooperated with the Garda. He worked for the Garda, not for me. Yeah. What I presented about the whole account of my situation, my case to him with 2 long, lengthy emails to him. He never gave a single word at the court in front of the judge. But every time I was, they didn't give me the chance to speak a word at the court. Yeah. It's very strange and weird. Yeah. I never given a chance, and nor am I allowed to speak a word. It's until the last court date happened on the 4th of September in 2023. Yeah, my last court date. I was about to speak up. I said, even that Garda, Sergeant Gil Davis' statement is not true. I say, she abused me first. Plus, I still some stuff left in her house. I haven't finished that sentence. And this Frank Batmer at the court stopped me. Yeah, Jim, come with me. Asked me, he directed me to follow him to go out, to leave from the courtroom. Then standing outside the courtroom, and he just simply told me that, you can leave now, your case is over. And I was like, what? How come it just suddenly over? Yeah, ended. I haven't even finished a single sentence there. And then my case remained closed like that. Yeah. So it's from March. My case first started on the day I was kicked out, abused, and made homeless by Michael Walsh in Bowling College on the morning of 19th of March. And on the 22nd of March in afternoon, outside Michael Wash's near on the road, I was wrongfully, evilly detained and arrested by Gardner Brennan. And then it's between, I was forced to show up at the court several times. It's until the 4th of September. So after finish my last court date, I wind myself back to the target station. I print out like 8 to 11 pages of the whole accountability, what Michael Walsh started the whole case, and then how the guard involved and how the guard further abused me and bullied me back in there and tortured me, ruined my health conditions down the course of time. Especially the first couple of months of most extremely dreadful and frustrating anxiety and stress, the time I experienced in my life. So I don't know how, just my health conditions just calmed down suddenly, and my immune system broken down, compromised from there. I printed the 8 to 11 pages of the whole accountability. I'm standing outside. It's like protesting. Protesting against the guards and the Michael Walsh, addressing for gaining back my justice, which they have denied to me. So standing outside the target station first, I read out loudly the pages, addressing the guard to pay me back for what they did to me. Well, and later, I wind myself back to Michael Wash's again. So then I called the 999. This guard again, it's on the afternoon of the 4th of September. So, but this time only one single guard came upon to the site, and they did the same thing, chasing me away, do nothing. And then a few days later, it's on the 9th of September, I think it's Saturday, in the afternoon, I stand outside the Gallagher Brennan's. No, that day I just went there directly back to the Michael Wash's. In the evening. It's in the evening. It's already getting dark in the day. I read out the pages loudly again, for the second time. Again, addressing her, for how much evil things they have done to me back there over the half year, from March up to September. And there, she called the guards to come up to me. 4 male guards come up to me and violently, abusively handcuffed me, squashed on me, my face even touched the ground. And then they took me back right away to target station, throw me into custody cell. That's the third time, third time they did. And I think that a couple hours later, they escorted me to the hospital. I thought that they were taking me to the hospital for treatment because they damaged my health. Well, it turned out they forced me into the psychiatric mental hospital. Psychiatric for psychiatric patients. These guards forced me there. Several male staff with the psychiatric unit staff members there hog-tied me. I can't even move. Each side hold my arms, my legs, my foot, and push me against the trolley. And right there, they got me injected right there. And what medications they used. And later, right there, they forced me to swallow down. I was completely forced by them to swallow down the psychiatric pills they forced me to. I can't refuse. They watch me. They have to watch me, the nurse standing beside me, and watch me to swallow down the psychiatric pills. So what I said is all the evil things, but for all the true details here, either the GSOC or Gallagher Brennan himself completely denied. You can read through his guard report. He exaggerated and made up many untruthful details. For example, he said, Michael Walsh, the homeowner, which he didn't even give her name, the homeowner is Michael Walsh. She never ever gave me any notice to evict me. That is unlawful. It's a very inhuman eviction. I would say essentially scamming with her agent, Hosting Power, And the guard helped her, protect her, hiding her house, and even helped her told some lies in the guard report, make some untruthful details to prevent there, exaggerate that I'm the one being abusive and threatening them, which they threatened me, abused me back in there. I'm just going to protest for what they did to me. That's what I did. And then, even there, So during the days, I was forced into the psychiatric mental hospital. When I swapped through my phone, I found the news. Yeah, the news which was reported, dated the same day, my last court date, the 4th of September. The news article came out with a version, the forcible, untruthful, twisted version told by the Garda from the court. It's a court reporting. I complained this about the untruthful report about my situation of my case to the Irish Gazette, Ecolife. But how they replied me, they say, oh, it's a court reporting. It has nothing to do with us. Yeah, it's not our fault. If you have an issue with that, you should contact the court. Well, the court doesn't, respond at all. I tried to sue the case against the guard. They don't even accept me here. Yeah, I couldn't get any chance to get back any justice from here because the GSOC, which I made complaints to them twice officially, even the last time on the 28th of September, I had an appointment with this GSOC investigator called Deirdre Griffin, sitting in their office in Blackpool in that building. Made a walk-in recording about the whole statement of my situation, even inclusive about the bunch of target forcibly put me into the psychiatric mental hospital for nearly 11 days. I was luckily there for 11 days. Did this Garda Brennan mention about this? No, he didn't. Instead, he still lied so much that Margaret Walsh gave me 7 days notice, informed me to leave to find an alternative accommodation, which is a non of existence. I don't even know how he made up this kind of stuff, fake stuff, in his Garda report. And the GSA just covered him up. Yeah, because they are the own Gardaí, I understand. But I'm just a victim, honestly, yeah. Am I not even allowed to speak up for the true details? I deserve justice that has been denied by the Irish Gardaí here for 2 years.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Tang. So I suppose that's a lot of information, and clearly you've thought long and hard about how you were going to present that to us, and we thank you for giving us your account. I'm going to ask you, Ms. Tang, what is it exactly that you're asking us to do for you? What are you asking us to do? What are you looking for out of today's appeal hearing?
I applied for the criminal, injuries, compensation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I presented how the Garda covered up their crimes against me and denied their damages and the harm, injury they caused me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Ms. Tang, as I said to you at the outset, we are bound by the terms and conditions of the scheme. If you have a problem with An Garda Síochána, you report that to GSOC and they carry out.
Yeah. Well, every time you direct me, just I don't understand the Irish local authorities. Even I report this, the Minister for Justice, they just direct me back to GSOC. But they already, I already present to you, GSOC covered it up. Yeah, denied it. They covered up for the Gardaí. But the harm injuries caused, but they can't deny, but they still denied them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
But our role, Ms. Tang, and I appreciate this may be frustrating for you, but our role is not to investigate the actions of An Garda Síochána, nor is our role. Yes. Please don't interrupt me when I'm speaking. Please don't interrupt me when I'm speaking.
But I'm still applying for injuries compensation. Yeah.
Ms. Tang, I will ask you kindly not to interrupt me when I'm speaking. I'm trying to explain matters to you. Okay? Our role is not to investigate members of An Garda Síochána. Our role is not to investigate investigations that have been done by GSA. That simply is not our role. We have no power to do so. We can offer you no compensation or no outcome in respect to a review of anything of that nature. We simply are not set up to do that. What we could potentially do is provide compensation if you showed us that you had personal injury that was directly attributable to a crime of violence. Now, I appreciate that you have had a difficult time. It must have been very stressful for you to have your home.
Yes, the Garda has
your accommodation.
The Garda has caused me life-threatening illness. Yeah.
Okay.
They caused me immune damages, which is incurable, which will go on living with me throughout the rest of my life.
Ms. Tang, I'm going to ask you some very direct questions, okay? What crime of violence happened to you?
The Garda. Yeah.
Okay, but what did
the
the
crime
Garda do
violence.
to you? They physically assaulted
Only
you?
the GSOC and the Garda denied their crimes against me. That's why I presented here. Yeah.
What personal
I'm
injuries
presenting
have
the
you-
crime violent injuries caused by the Garda to me in the year 2023, which ruined my life. Which that's the reason why I applied for the injuries compensation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what injuries did you sustain, do you say?
My health. I say nothing else about my extra expenses here that cost me here, that tagged me here. Yeah, for 2 years.
Okay, so your health. We have reviewed your file, and there's various entries there about a suspected lupus, about eye complaints. There's various medical reports there, but there is nothing, Ms. Tang, that connects them to any injury that you sustained at the hands of another person.
Yes, the results is caused by my health consequences are caused by the guards. Yes, those are the medical records I see here. Ever since from the June, I think it's from the nearly the end of June until the first of the GP visit is in October in 2023.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Tang, we simply do not have medical evidence before us.
I already
that
present
supports
medical
that.
evidence. Only you don't admit that. Yeah.
Sorry, excuse me?
I presented the medical record there, the pages. Yeah.
And we
Yes.
have read them, but there's nowhere that they say that they were
Yeah, of
that
course.
your medical
That's because the
complaints
I
were false.
told my situation there, but the GP, the doctors here, the CUH, because the Garda first put me in the CUH psychiatric unit. They have that MRN number, recognize me. That's why the CUH every time I reporting hitting the emergency department, I was got into there many times, but every time just send me back as nothing wrong, which is seriously wrong. Yeah.
Ms. Tang, I am very familiar with the process.
No matter how you deny this, yeah, these are the results. These are the serious consequences. This Gardaí, they're violent, abusing me, and wrongful arrest me, which is essentially crime against me. Yeah, exists here, but denied by the Irish Gardaí yourselves.
I'm going to ask my colleagues if they have any questions for you, Ms. Tang. Mr. Sheridan.
No questions at this time, Chairman or Chairperson. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Byrne?
Just briefly, I mean, I've been listening to you, Ms. Tang, and thank you. Your account is very clear. It's just, I suppose I just wanted to put something to you just for your response, because at the end of the day, it'll be for us after we finish listening to you to weigh whether there was or wasn't a crime of violence. But it does sound like you had a civil disagreement with Miss Walsh, okay? What you say about the guards telling you that was something for you to pursue at Miss Walsh sounds correct, okay? That's a civil matter. And it also sounds, from what you're saying, as though they did ask you to leave places at various times, okay? So, and I will listen to your response, but listening to your account, it does sound like the guards acted as one would expect. You know, they told you when a matter was a civil matter. They did ask you to leave at different points in time, and you seem to be saying that you didn't obey their instructions. And if all of that happens, Ms. Tang, it does sound like the guards would have a reason or a basis for arresting you. And that's what caused you to be brought to Garda stations at different times. So I suppose the only point I'm going to suggest to you is that, you know, listening to your account, it does seem as though the Gardaí had a basis for acting as they did, but I think you disagree with that, and you're asking us to find they didn't act lawfully. Is that correct?
I'm representing you. What the Gardaí have did something evil to me, ruined my life here. No. Yes, that's the violent crimes committed by the guards.
Okay, no, you're.
I'm the victim. I fallen to victim firstly to Bangladesh, then fallen to this Garda Gabrana. Am I not entitled to go back to claim my payments while they refused so in the first place. So why Ugardi didn't have Michael Walsh arrested in the first place instead of me? Because I'm a Chinese female alone there on myself.
All right.
I was homeless. Made me homeless.
Your account is very clear, Ms. Tang. There's nothing else I need to clarify. So thank you for your account, Ms. Davey. I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Ms. Tang, we have heard what you wanted us to hear. We've listened to you, and you've given your evidence in line with the very detailed documents that you provided in relation to your appeal. I hope we've been clear in respect of what it is that this tribunal can do. I don't think we need to hear any more from you, Ms. Tang, unless there's anything in particular that you want to say to us before we wrap up. Would you like to say anything before we finish up?
I'd like to say I already presented all the criminal facts committed by the guard, by the Garda Gabranen and with a bunch of guards at the inside the target station, who had me wrongfully arrested 3 times and forced me to sign on something which is not true. And he himself, the Garda, made forcible, untruthful, exaggerated Garda report to have me publicly defamed with the circulation of the newspaper, Irish Examiner, Echo Live. And with all the true facts, the evil, their criminal facts hidden behind, never giving out the word to the public or disclosed, all covered up by the GSAC. That's the reason why GSAC remained my case to be closed and no further action to be taken. Just throw me an email by declaring a closure, for my case. Why? Because there's something dirty behind. Hidden there, they don't want to disclose it to the public. Yeah, exactly. The Garda crimes, Garda abuse. Okay, and cost me life-threatening illnesses. And made me suffering all this. I have to keep paying here, tugging here, trying to seek justice, but with zero, with nothing gained back, nothing paid back from the criminals. That's the reason why I applied for injuries compensation, because I deserve that. Okay. No matter how you denied it, your scam or your rules. The criminal facts are presented here. No matter how ever your Irish Garda, your GSAC, or An Garda Síochána headquarters denied about this. The consequence already caused by them to me. My life. It's my life that has been ruined by the Irish Gardaí.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Tang. And that will be a matter for us to decide. And we will do so, and we will deliver a decision to you very shortly. It will be within the next few days. You will have a decision. All right?
Okay.
So, thank you very much for attending this morning, and thank you for telling us your version of events. We appreciate that. And we'd like to take this opportunity to wish you well with your trip to Ireland and your continued stay in our country. And we hope that you enjoy the rest of your stay. Okay? So thank you very much for joining us this morning, and Miss Tracy will be in touch with the decision in due course. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. You can sign off now, Ms. Tang.